All right, I'm out in the garden picking greens for our breakfast, and I'm gonna get some curly dock and some henbit, maybe a little bit of flavoring, and work on video number 3 from the poll suggestions. And this one is going to be on picking tribe members. I'm trying to see if I can find a place to sit down. If only evolution were true and I had those extra arms I need, I could pick the vegetables and shoot the video. I'm going to get my bottom wet. Bale of straw out here for mulch. But it rains, so here we go. All right, picking tribe members. A couple of you suggested this topic, so let's get into it. You're not going to pick your tribe members, first of all, okay? At least not in my opinion. Maybe if you don't have God involved, you will. But somebody else is going to be helping you pick those tribe members as well. God's going to pick the people that you come in contact with, especially if you ask Him to put you in contact with them. It's not magic, though. You don't say, please have people meet me and then sit in your house. It doesn't work that way. You say, please have people meet me, and then you make moves to make that happen. So how do you do that? I have videos on women meeting men who are older and widowed and so on, and don't want to go out to a bar and date. And it's the same basic information. Go to where the people who you want in your tribe, where they might be. If you want outdoorsy people, you need to go outdoorsy. So how do you do that? You join a local walking club. Oh, look at, here's someone else. Come here, Kiki Puss. I'm not really a cat person, but this guy's kind of adopted us. I hope you can see him. There he is. He's kind of adopted us, and he's a little bit of an attention hound. Anyway, possum trotters. They are people who do land navigation. That's an outdoorsy kind of group. Go to a shooting range. Volunteer for a local scouting organization. I know there's a bunch of problems with them, but you still might be able to find quality people there. It doesn't mean that every single troop all the way across the nation is totally wrecked. Join your local fire department if you're young enough, or volunteer to be on their auxiliary. You'll find people who are willing to help other people. Where else? If you have a local park, like a state park or a state forest or something, you can go there, do something there, see who shows up, see if you meet anybody. Those are just a few suggestions to find outdoorsy people. You also have at your disposal the internet, which is a blessing for people nowadays, because you can put a free cycle ad or a Craigslist ad, or type in, outdoor clubs near me and find out what sort of organizations are already in place. The Red Cross would be a good place for you to look. If you take that basic first aid class, or even a more advanced first aid class, you're going to meet other people in that class who are doing the same thing you are and may have more in common with you. Those are some of my suggestions for how to meet those kind of people. If you put it out, like if you have a YouTube channel and you put out on your YouTube channel wanting to meet people in my area who, are interested in forming community, who want to do like a farmer's co-op or want to do bartering or anything, that's another avenue for you, or to put up some kind of web page that advertises that. Okay, so now you've got your little feelers out. You put a 3x5 card up at your library and at your community bulletin boards in the area, and you have to call a meeting. You cannot wait until somebody responds to you, because people are probably waiting to find out where they need to go or who to contact. So set up some kind of meet. Put your feelers out for a little while, then announce it Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. You're going to have a little walk and talk at that park that's near you, or Wednesday after work, or Wednesday midday if you're retired like we are. Retired people's schedule is wide open. and have a plan for your first meet. You know, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I'm expecting, and then see what kind of response you get. You have to be active. You can't expect all this stuff to happen on your own. So let's pretend you've done that and you've had a meeting and you've gotten some people who want to show up. The next thing to do is schedule some sort of activity that is going to be in line with whatever your community is doing. And let's just pretend that you're going to be a community of people who grow flowers. So you have a few meetings. The next thing you're going to be looking for is people who bear fruit. It's a biblical concept. Good trees bear good fruit, bad trees bear bad fruit. So look for the people who are bearing good fruit. If you're doing a flower community, who shows up with the bulbs they're willing to share with other people? Who shows up with seeds from some plant that they are saved from last year and are willing to give to the group? Who shows up, you know, with 15 trowels and bags of peat moss and says, hey, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do this thing. I've got my truck. I brought snacks. Just people who are go-getters. And whose fruit is good. So my last tip on this is going to be sort of a warning tip. And then I have to tell you, it's like going for a swim. You don't know what's in that water. You're just going to have to give it a try. And be ready to be buffered about by the waves a bit. So the people who are going to bear bad fruit are going to show signs of who they are. And you should take those signs and understand what they are and be on guard. People who don't listen to other people's no's or advice. So if you know for a fact that you are a very good flower grower and you're in this meeting and you say, you know, I use this kind of soil and I buy my bulbs from this company, and that person just poo-poos you. Oh, no, blah, 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 blah. If they do that over and over, that person's bearing bad fruit. Proverbs also talks about the fool being someone who will not accept advice or wisdom. If you know you have wisdom and this person is rejecting it, that is a fruit for you to see. And some people can be more upfront about it. I'm not quite that way because I'm always thinking people can change if they want to, and I try to subtly point them in a correct direction and hope they start going that way. You can just not ask that person back to the meeting. You can not tell them where the next meeting is. There's a 50s thing that I came to understand as I got older, where if a person asks you out and you don't want to go out with them, but you don't want to hurt them, nowadays it's the friend zone. You just say, I'm sorry, I'm busy, I'm washing my hair that night. And that's your subtle way of saying, not interested, without being mean or cruel to anyone. And you do want to kind of spare yourself the emotional distress and pain that comes with people who come with drama, or they come with bad fruit, because it will affect you over time. If you've got one of those people in your group and every time you show up it's just an emotional drag on you, that's kind of a key to you. Hey, this is not going to work. And finding tribe members is not going to be, well, Bob, Sally, and Jim showed up and they're all great and that's it. End of story. People are complicated, messy things. And so Bob, Sally, and Jim, and Rupert, and a whole bunch of other people are going to show up. And then Rupert, Sally, and Jim are going to be the ones who stay, and all the rest of them are going to get sifted through. Whether they decide they don't like you, or you decide they're nice people, but they're not your kind of people. It doesn't always have to be a hateful, spiteful breakup. It can just be, well, it seems like we have differences. Let's just agree to disagree and go our ways, you know. So those are my main ideas for tribe finding. But my biggest suggestion, my biggest advice to you about it is get active in it. You cannot sit there and wish and hope it's going to happen. You have to start taking steps. All right, hope this has been helpful. I got to get out there and get those things picked. It's a beautiful day. I can't wait. All right, bless you. Shalom.